Welcome to PPMA TV with Mark and Memage. I'm Craig. We are here at the Jenton Group with Richard, the director. Now, Richard, before we say anything else, how many years have you been here at PPMA?
Well, this is my 32nd PPMA show.
Wow. You were here when you were literally -5.
It was almost a school day out, it was, yeah.
So good to see you. So good to see you again, and always welcome back. And welcome back to actual people as well, which is incredible, isn't it?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, it's really, with all the various things that could have happened, it's fantastic to see a corridor full of people visiting. I mean, the people we've been here, they've been going at petrol stations at midnight to fill up with fuel. They've been getting train tickets from all over the place. And the people who've come here it's been really lovely to see them because they've actually got projects. There's lots of real projects going on, and it's important for people to come here. It's fantastic we're here to do it. Fantastic they're here to talk to us.
We're so excited that you're here as well. Talk us through this line, because there's something very special at the end that I cannot wait to talk about. But give us a little insight to the Jenton Group.
Yeah, Jenton, we've been going a long time, but what Jenton do is we are distributors for some companies in other countries, and we bring their machines into the UK, and then we also, half our business is making our own machines. So at this end of the stand, we've got bag sealing solutions. We've got this system here that comes in from Sweden, and we've got this system here that comes in from Canada, although we do make the framework on it. Now, if we look at this machine down here, this is taking bags made from Supreme Plastics in Whitby, and this feeds these bags automatically onto a line. And if you press the button there, well done, you can see this is actually a vacuum. It's not only sealing, it's adding vacuum to the line as well. Feel free to press it again and get another there. Okay, so there's an automatic, that's for semi-automatic and automatic systems. We can do feeders and loaders for that as well. And then over here we have a vacuum sealer, and we have a system here where you can put a pack through in order to seal the top of a bag one by one. Now, significantly, this is a new product. Hang on. Yeah. Significantly, this is a relatively new product from a company called Serene over in Telford, a UK innovation, and this is called Earth Pouch, and this material is 100% plastic free.
Which obviously in the world that we live in now, we're all trying to do our bit. I mean, obviously we're never going to be able to eradicate it completely. It's borderline impossible to a degree, but this is a fantastic way forward, right?
Oh, absolutely. For where there's horses for courses. I always want to buy my bleach in a plastic bottle, to be brutally honest, rather than cardboard. But for things like for dried goods and coffee and things like that, absolutely, this sort of thing is a solution.
I love that.
But moving on down.
Yeah. Let's mingle. We're going to get our cameraman to come running after us. Here we go.
This is my favourite machine, even though because it's been a little friend over many, many years. We sell an awful lot of banding machines. Banding machines are when you use a heat sealable material to band together a stack of product. It looks simple. There's a heat seal on the back there, and this has been used. It's been used for generations for stacking money together, so stacks of cash, and it's used for tamper evidence. It's used for labelling. It's used for multi-pack, shelf loading, all sorts of opportunities for this. And I mean, always looking for new ones. But it's something that we've been doing for the whole of the life of Jenton, and it's an area where they're small machines, but they've got a big heart. And there are loads of applications for them.
I love you've got a favourite as well.
Oh, exactly.
I love that you've got one.
If you buy a machine from us, it gets a name. Every machine, all of our machines have names.
So I don't even know if we want to get too personal, but who's Jenny to you?
Jenny was my mum.
I love that.
That's on my favourite. It's on my favourite machine.
Oh my gosh, that's why it's your favourite. Right. Okay, come and show me some of this new technology. Sorry, sir. Hello, sir. We're going to squeeze in.
That's right. On this side here, these are the machines that we make. For the food automation line. This is a company called Ariana that we used to work with, and we bought a few years ago. Now these systems here, when you have a food line, the primary machine produces packs, so it can be tray sealed or thermoformed or whatever else. And then after that, lots of things have to happen to them. They have to be check weighed or metal detected. Now what we do is we make what I sort of call clever conveyors. So we make convergers to bring things down into one line. We make seal testers to check if they're sealed properly. We make stackers to stack them up again, so that when people are loading them into boxes, it's a lot easier for them to do. And we do ancillary equipment. For example, we add machines for pick and placing pads to put pads into the trays as well. But everything we make has been made because somebody wanted it. Yes. And so each time we tend to, we can make bespoke machines to suit whatever applications they might have.
But I guess once you've made a bespoke machine for someone, actually you realise that many more people can benefit from that machine, despite the fact they may not have known it.
Oh, it's a darn sight easier not to have to design it every time, right? So if we absolutely, once we've made something, we've tried who else can we make it for, you know? And we've sold hundreds of these convergers, for example. Although originally it will have came because somebody wanted one.
I love that. I love that. It's about adapting and move forward. Now, this is something that I am very excited to see.
Well, this is part of the Jenton. See, in 1995, we worked with Anita Roddick in the body shop in order to come up with the very first bottle disinfection system for when people brought empty bottles back to the shop. Okay, so they could disinfect them before they could refill them. And although that was well ahead of its time, and it wasn't a great marketing success, it was a good technical success. And ever since then, we've got loads of patents on it. And ever since then, we've been really involved in ultraviolet disinfection. So we do ultraviolet disinfection for air, for example, in air conditioning systems and in offices. We do systems for food production halls. And this year, of course, it's been very relevant because UV is incredibly good at disinfecting COVID. It's far easier to get rid of viruses in the air than it is bacteria and molds, and we can do bacteria and molds. So this technology has been easy to apply to workplaces to make it safe to get back into work. But before this year, all the stuff we've been doing has been from bacteria. For example, this system here, this is a UV conveyor, okay? And you can see in here, I hope it doesn't clobber the camera, but in here you can see some UV lamps. These are modules that we make. And so we make, these are UV lamps, and they have here FEP sleeves so that you can use them in food so they don't break and cause trouble. And this is for moving products from, say, low care into high care, or for bringing products into the factory for before they're used in the first place. And we can also make conveyors for individual items like loaves of bread or cut fish or cut fruit or anything like that.
This is definitely the future, isn't it? I think this is going to be something that, now has probably come to the forefront of everyone's minds and kind of going, maybe we should be going in this direction.
Yeah, I sincerely hope so, because we've been at it a long time and there's an awful lot of factories that haven't got UV disinfection.
But I think that maybe will change. Do you feel that this is a change in the right direction?
Fine. And the system over here on the corner, this is a classic one. We're partners, we're UK development partners with Philips, and this is one of the systems that you might put into an air conditioning duct. So in something like this, you pass the air over the system, it breaks down, the UV breaks down bacteria and viruses in the air, and then passes it through. For example, if you have a bakery, the bread comes out of the oven sterile. And you might add the molds to it without meaning to, because of all the people, because of the air in the system. And so something like that, we would have UV systems for cleaning the air, and would have UV systems maybe for shining on the air conditioning coils to make sure bacteria mold doesn't grow there in the first place. If you're trying to disinfect fish or fruit, they come into the factory with listeria on them, and then you spread it around with the knives and things that people use. So in a situation like that, you actually have a different thing where you UV disinfect the products themselves as they go down the line before they get packed. And there are all sorts of other options in disinfecting plastic films and things like that.
Are more and more people becoming aware of this technology and how important it is in our world now?
Yes, I mean, ironically, because of COVID, people are more aware of what they can't see and things that can cause them trouble. So it is increasing awareness. What has happened is where people have put UV systems in for COVID reasons, to make the place safer for workers, what they've also found is when they put their plates out to look for the plates out for checking for bacteria, there's less on it. Which is what we've always said, but it's difficult to prove without doing it, and so people have now done it and realised by coincidence they're also making their workplaces safer from bacteria, and that helps with things like shelf life and stuff like that.
Has become a bit of a wake-up call, hasn't it? I think for many of us in many different ways. There is so much more going on over here. I think we're going to talk to Steve very soon, but I believe he's with people right now. Yeah. Should we leave him be, and we'll come back to Steve a little bit later, perhaps? But Richard, how many years again?
32.
32.
Because we didn't have a show last year.
33 years. I love it. We're going to let you have that one. It's always a pleasure, and hopefully I cannot wait to see what you bring next year. Thank you, sir.
Mate. Cheers, then. Thanks, bye.
You. Welcome back to PPMA TV. I'm joined by Steve from Jenton DeMarco. Steve, lovely to see you. Good to have you back at the... So nice to be here live, isn't it?
Isn't it just? Meeting some people in real life for once, it's great.
I know, let's enjoy it while we can, and let's enjoy this, because what we spoke to some guys at Jenton before, and you've got some incredible technology, and a technology that's been around for a while and into new technology, but you've got something special over here, haven't you?
We have. So our industry is moving more and more towards automation. As you move around this exhibition, you're going to see so many companies building end-of-line case packing and robotic systems for packing product into the final cases and boxes that go off to supermarkets. We have to automate that end of the market because the whole industry is running out of labour, struggling to get labour. What that does for the food industry is it removes the manufacturer's opportunity to check for mistakes. So if a food company is manufacturing and packing a food product, if they produce a food product and get the wrong packaging material on that product, or they print the wrong use by date, they declare the wrong allergens and this sort of thing, it can be a big problem. Everybody needs to automate that end-of-line process, so they are losing the opportunity for somebody to look at that package and see these mistakes, glaring mistakes in some cases.
So how do you combat that?
So how we combat that is on a system like this. A food product will enter through the machine, and we will take an image simultaneously of the top of the package and the base of the pack.
Yeah.
And we will turn the data that we read, like this image here, into digital data. And we verify that data, those labels, are correct against the database that's been configured in the technical department of the business that's producing this food.
So it can really eliminate that, dare I say, human error, which inevitably will happen, but it can eliminate all of those little... That's incredible stuff.
So we will determine if you're using the right packaging materials, we will determine if you're declaring the right use-by dates, the right prices, the right barcodes, the right promotional labels. We can do all of this at very high speeds on a packing line. This is a very mature system now and has been adopted really well. With the increase in automation, it's just become extremely popular.
So let me ask you, is this obviously the hardware, is it a system that has already existed, and is it the software that really takes it to the next level?
So DeMarco have been around for over 15 years manufacturing this sort of equipment. All of the software that we use is written in-house. We don't buy anything in. It's all developed by ourselves. And all I can say is that the developments in hardware of camera technology and computer technology has increased so much that it has now become, with our software, a mature product that can cope with products moving around on a conveyor belt and things like this, which in the olden days it couldn't. So it now becomes a reliable machine that people can install and use and get all the benefit from, allowing them then to buy these robots, to buy these case packers, and to produce the food in the speeds they need to produce them at.
It does feel like this is next generation stuff right here, but happening now, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Also, before I let you go, Steve, that's 3 pork chops for a tenner.
4?
Oh, 4. No, it's 4. Sorry, I was going to complain at the price, but Steve, you had me at a tenner. Always a pleasure. Thank you,
Nice to
sir.
meet you. Thank you. Cheers.